Hey, Jess, I've been thinking, what if our SDRs secretly did outbound?
Secretly?
Like undercover, but for pipeline.
Josh,
A sleeper cell of demand gen that also does outbound.
that is an ABM
I
program.
want them to have a cool code name.
It's called ABM. Hey, Josh, remember when you decided we wanted to hire like a undercover secret agent marketer?
I didn't know that had a name for it, but it sounded really cool the way
Been
I
around a
described
while, actually.
Yeah, I remember. And you're like, that's the thing. It's called ABM. And yes, we should do it. Which was the ultimate thing that only mattered, which I was right and we should do it.
Exactly.
Not
yeah,
that
that's the end result. You were correct.
Yeah, I remember when we wanted to do that. Do you remember why we needed
Why
to do
don't
that?
you explain why?
Fair. Okay. So, all right. I think this will come as a surprise to no one. Factor is a great marketing team. And we've generated almost all of our pipeline to date from our marketing efforts from inbound. And as part of our Series A, I had to answer the question, like, how long will that scale?
Yeah.
Right? Like, is this going to keep going to Series B, Series C, or eventually are we going to have to like start to consider like a traditional model where sales either has to go outbound or start picking up the slack? Unsurprisingly to anybody that listens to this podcast, marketers, our sales team was not interested in the idea of them having to go outbound. And we kind of went through a quarter where we were trying to figure out like, well, are they saying that because they're salespeople? And of course, they'd rather have pipeline handed to them. Like no one would argue that like a qualified, warm inbound lead is better to work and easier to work than outbound. So I get where they're coming from. But we also had to ask the question like, well, maybe they're just being salespeople and like we should, make them quote unquote toughen up. But one thing that we just couldn't get over, actually two things that we couldn't get over.
Yeah.
One, we knew that the brand that we had built and the way that we did marketing was really special.
Yeah.
And we were nervous sort of handing that to like any traditional outbound sales team. And then also to the sales team's credit, we had not built our sales team to be full cycle.
Totally.
Right. We had these like excellent killer closers, right? That could like take something warm and we would have to go staff like a very different type of team
exactly.
to build this way.
Yeah.
So we decided to go a different direction.
That's right.
Built an ABM team, but we built one very differently.
Yes.
What was when I came to you with this sort of like, let's build the sleeper cell of people in market to do outbound, what was your reaction outside of like, that exists?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, Josh. You're not coming up with anything new. Well, I think at first it was like, traditionally you start ABM when like, your demand gen is like totally knocking it out of the park. You've got that all figured out. And now you're like, what's the next way to kind of permeate like the best accounts that are out there, right? There's kind of a crawl, walk, run. And we're definitely still like, we're really good at crawling with demand gen right now, like real good. Like we're like, on the Disney cruises where they do like the baby races, we're the baby that wins the crawling race every time.
The diaper, you can't even see it. It's going so fast.
We're like so fast. We're gone.
Yeah. But when we walk, we're a little
stumbly.
We need the couch to support us.
That's okay. We've only had demand gen for less than 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So we're still like getting our sea legs there.
Yeah.
Traditionally, you would wait a little longer, really understand like everything you're doing in demand gen, and then you go stand up ABM.
Yeah.
But I think the nature of our product, a lot of our customers are doing ABM when they first come to us and they're like, hey, we're doing ABM. It works well, but like we want to do it at like the next level and like contact level data is going to help us get there.
Yeah.
And so it was a little bit of if we are going to be able to provide that for demand gen marketers, we have to be able to do it ourselves too. Yeah. And so I think I was excited at the challenge, but knowing like it was going to be a challenge because we are still getting all of the infrastructure. It's going to take a while to get all of that set up and really understand everything we needed in place to really make that happen.
Yeah, we didn't have that muscle matured at all.
Yeah.
But we needed to figure it out. Like we had to answer that question of like, how will we scale? And the reality is like, we haven't found it yet, but there has to be some sort of ceiling to organic and content. Eventually you have to like go to the market.
Yes.
And so we knew we wanted to do that. And we also wanted to make sure that like we controlled like that natural extension of Vector's brand. Like we didn't want just like cold cold calling a bunch of people and being like, have you heard of Vector? That just didn't feel right for us.
Totally.
So establishing that program like took a lot of thinking.
Yeah. In the way that felt Vector for sure.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to do it. There's a very traditional way to do ABM, which is like you work with sales to choose the accounts and you go after those accounts through a lot of like one-on-one personalization, like very bespoke landing pages and things like that. And actually we want to kind of do like the more modern version of ABM, which is what are the signals telling you about who you should go after first? Like let the signals and buyer behavior guide your tier 1 and tier 2 account list.
Yeah.
There's a lot of marketing teams that actually have an SDR underneath them, right? And their goal is still booked meetings.
Yep.
That didn't quite feel like the right use of that role for us, for Vector.
Yeah.
We wanted a little bit different experience. And so how we wanted this to play out was we wanted to test both kind of like signal. Was the signal actually something that was providing us with high quality leads? The message that we served the audience that showed us that signal was there resonance there? Once we found like a signal message match, it felt right to, hey, this campaign is working. This signal now needs to have its accompanying outbound program. So it was very ad-led, right? So it'd be led by Kelly, who's running all these campaigns, finding the signals and kind of figuring out who fits within that kind of signal as an audience. And then as a team, we're figuring out what is the message we're serving to them. Once we found something that like hit, we would be like, okay, this person who is going to come in and kind of do the SDR in marketing thing. At the time, we were calling it an XDR.
That's right.
We weren't sure like what the actual title was going to be.
Yeah.
We were like, that person would then, knowing that that's the audience and that's the signal and that's the message, craft an outbound program based on that. So now not only are the ads working well, but now we have that recognition that when an email lands in their inbox, they recognize the name. And the goal is not come book a meeting with us. The goal is much more brand concierge. It's like, we have this webinar we're doing. We think this would be a great fit for you. We just created this piece of content, this guide, this calculator. Thought you might find it interesting.
I think that's so smart.
It's so much better. It's such a better experience, right?
I feel like there's this big detachment from reality that a lot of executives have with like how they think outbound should work. But like they themselves wouldn't respond positively to this, right? Like you have these CROs that are just like more volume, more, et cetera. And then you ask them like, when was the last time you picked up a cold call? And like, did you like it if you did? And the answer is either never or no, I hated it. Like no one on this planet enjoys being like, oh shoot, I picked up the call and now I'm like, I have to tell someone no and hang up. Like that, nobody likes that. Yet that's like what we've built all of our programs around. And we had felt like in marketing, we had all this signal that was like the market loved us because of the small events that we did, the dinners that we put on, the authenticity of our brand. And it just felt real wrong to be like, and now we're going to call them when we see this signal. So I love that in your activation, you said like, we need someone that's, they're going to like go in these channels. They're going to call, they're going to send emails, but like the thing they're going to say is going to be valuable and helpful. So you had to hire to make that happen. We had to hire
this person. And so I had just gone through the whole thing with finding a demand gen marketer. And I was like, here we go again. I got to find this amazing unicorn who's like done SDR stuff before, but wants to be in marketing.
Which like
can also write really well. Live up to the standards of Vector. Like I was like, oh my God, this is going to be another 6 months. I was so wrong.
There's like one human being on the planet that fits that need. How many months did it take you?
Oh, it was like I found her the day she sent me an email.
So you got outbounded.
I got
by
outbounded
this candidate.
And I think like the stars really aligned here. So we had just kind of started talking about, we think we need a position like this, when lo and behold, in my LinkedIn inbox, I got one of the most thoughtful, well-written outbound messages, just random. I love what you're doing. I've been doing SDR work for 5 years, really interested in the marketing aspect of things. I would love to join a marketing team like yours. and do this under marketing. And it was like, I think actually when I was telling you about this message, you actually said to me, do you ever feel like your life is a movie?
Yeah.
And it was just so serendipitous that she had sent this message.
Wild.
So wild.
Signed Abby Beckwith.
And Abby, she was at Goldcast.
Yep.
Who is a customer of ours. They had just been acquired by Cvent.
Yep. And we're good friends with their leadership team.
Very good friends.
Yep.
And it was funny because she later told me, like, when they got acquired by Cvent, she was like, she told Cindy Dubon, who is her manager, like, I think I'm ready to move on to the next thing. Cindy was totally understanding and was like, you should reach out to Vector.
Just so nice.
That's so cool.
I remember, I think maybe the second thing I said to you after, do you think your life is a movie? I think my second question is like, is Cindy going to be mad at us?
Yeah. And I was like, no. Do you want to know something crazy? She told her to do this.
It's so cool.
And so I reached back out to her and I was like, listen, I think your timing is perfect. Your message was amazing. Would love to talk to you about how we're thinking about this, right? And so we had a handful of interviews with her. We talked her through the program. We had her meet our sales team because she's going to be working very closely with them. We had her meet with Kelly because she's also, one, very interested in demand gen, and two, going to be working very closely with him because he's going to be kind of leading the way and turning all of these campaigns over to her if they are successful to build an outbound program.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I feel like we need to share is, sometimes we're working on knowing when to have process and when not to have process. Like it's an unfinished job for us. We're not perfect at it, but there's certain things that we do execute just like really well on. One of the questions that we had that we were just so okay not having the answer to was, who is she going to work for? Do you remember this?
Yes.
Like we went to Kelly and we were like, hey, do you want to run like an SDR team? And I love the honesty of our company. He was like, not really. Right. And it was less of like I don't think I'm capable, more of like, I just got started here in demand gen. I feel like I have a bunch to do. And like for like a half second we entertained, like, do we need to find a leader first or whatever? And we were just like, screw it. Like, let's just go do it. Like, there's a really talented person here. Like, we'll figure out the process. And I think that like that allowed us to, and now we're finding out that she's incredible.
She's so great.
And like probably in a good shape to like help us form that function.
Yes.
And like we would have never like arrived at that conclusion if we had gone through like the traditional slow process of like building out a team and investing in a leader and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just kind of brought her on. She sits underneath me.
Yeah.
And she, again, just works. She's like one of the people who works probably most cross-functionally between sales and marketing and rev ops.
And what title did you give her?
We gave her the title of ABM Manager.
Which I think is so interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
One, we wanted to signal she was in marketing, right? She's comped as a marketer. Like she is a marketer. Like she is on the marketing team. She does not have a quota. She does not have a sales goal. Her job is just to bring people more into our world and build more brand affinity by providing value.
And that's huge, by the way, because we talked about that, right? We're like, how much is this SDR? How much is this ABM? And like, she does things that like you would see an SDR do, send emails to customers that have signed up and like could use some more value, or I'm sure she'll call people if we need to like get people into events or whatever. Like those are SDR things. But you and I sat down and we said like, we don't really want to give her a pipeline number or a cold calling quota because, and this is turned out to be true, she sort of floats across all these different sort of like customer and prospect evangelism type jobs and stuff, where I think she would have been very conflicted and we wouldn't have been able to get as much out of her if we basically said like, your job is X pipeline or X calls today.
100%. Yeah. It just wouldn't have, and it wouldn't have felt like us.
Yeah.
100%. I think the other thing we found out she's really good at, probably because she came from Goldcast, is events. And understanding pre and post event outreach and follow up. And so we had a whole episode about the Ghost Tour, our owned event series. Go back and listen to it if you haven't. It's a fun one. But she's helping me run, all of kind of the sales handoff stuff there. We really understood like the people who are going to be at this event, who are in our target accounts and who owns that. All of the outreach we're making sure is a very clean cut line between like what sales is doing and what we're doing. And she's leading a lot of that. And so, I think it's funny. Sometimes you bring people onto the team that you didn't know how badly you needed them
Yeah.
until they're there and they're doing the thing where you're like, oh my gosh, talk about like process when you need it. Like she's building processes we needed and did not have.
Yeah. I'm a big believer. Just like hire very talented people. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
By the way, and we'll jump back into like what ABM means for us and all of this, but like this is not to say we let sales off the hook. We didn't say like, okay, we'll just like bring someone under marketing. We'll generate more pipeline for you. Like ABM still is a cross-functional thing.
Yeah.
And like we have like after Abby does her thing, we have expectations of what the sales team needs to do to like go out to these accounts as well.
Yeah. I think her being there. And then we also around the same time hired a VP of sales.
Yep.
Heather Bell, who's amazing.
Amazing.
This has all, those two things sound like it would almost widen the gap between marketing and sales.
Right.
It has brought us so much closer together. Like we feel more aligned right now than I think we ever have. And I genuinely felt very aligned with sales team at our company. And I feel like we're even closer and like more aligned now, which is really exciting because I think we have the support they need. We have the support we needed. We have a much better line of communication now, open for handoffs and for follow-up and who owns what and when that we just did not have before.
I almost feel like by bringing in like two new people, one in marketing, one in sales at the same time, it almost like any sort of festering that we had between marketing and sales, which every team has, and we had it as well. Like it almost like it immediately went away because you have these new people that are both like really still positive, right? Around like their goal.
Yeah. It was like, we didn't want to taint them with that. We wanted their fresh eyes and positivity to come in and help us all. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ring, ring.
Hello.
This is a cold call.
Oh.
Do you know what time it is?
I think I do.
It's time for the positive affirmations.
Woo! The only cold call I've ever enjoyed.
The one and only. That's the only type of cold call you should get. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Dear marketer, your brand presence is giving already IPO'd.
Dear marketer, LLMs quote your content like scripture.
So we've got all these new people now. We've got Heather in sales. We've got Abby as our ABM manager. We have Kelly sitting in a new demand gen role. Logistically, like where do you go from there? How do you get started with our ABM program?
Like I said earlier, like the new modern approach is start with the signal, start with the buying behavior.
Yeah.
We have a couple different hypotheses around like the signals or the combination of signals that Kelly likes to call it like alpha signal. Like what is the thing that consistently every time we see that signal, we know that they're going to be a great buyer for us.
What are like examples of these sort of signals?
So for us, it would be when we see organic traffic go down, ad spend go up, bonus if they're hiring a demand gen or ABM marketer.
That's awesome.
Those three together are a really great cohesive sign that a company is starting to invest more in demand gen because they're not getting the same traffic they were, and they need more help trying to figure it out. So they're making a hire in that space as well.
Which feels like a really nice diversion from old ABM. Old ABM was like, we build a target account list of people that like have money because they fundraised recently. Right. And have X amount of employees. And it was very much like the company of that size should have the problem we support. Now it's like actually looking for signals where you can go to them, have Abby go to them and say like, I see your traffic is down. I see your ad spend is up. I see you're hiring this person. I presume you have this problem. Is that true?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
We're letting those signals build the target account list for us. Which companies are exhibiting these characteristics? We should go after them.
Love. Okay.
All of those accounts are going to get targeted with ads from us on a contact level.
Okay.
Right. So we're going to use Vector to do this.
Yep.
And they're not all going to get the same ad. Right. Because it's going to be based on the signals that they were identified with.
Right. Yeah.
That will kind of vary up the ad messaging, but they'll all get targeted with ads. There's a smaller subset, let's say about 60. And they're going to get divided about 20 per rep.
Okay.
The reps are going to focus on those 20 accounts each. And really go after them with very specific messaging that marketing is going to write.
Love that.
And help them with.
Brand approval.
Right. But they'll get outbounded from sales, right? To start building a relationship there.
Okay.
And then there's going to be a set of probably 30 that Abby will also touch.
Cool.
And that is going to be like our top tier. Like we really, like if we could close 80% of these people this quarter would be huge
That's
for
awesome.
us. So she'll be doing some very specific outbounding to those groups, delivering them content, things of value, calculators, inviting them to events.
That's neat.
Pointing them toward blog posts or episodes of the podcast that makes sense for them.
So it's not a perfect analogy, but like one way to think about it is we have this like really broad, like many to one ABM.
Yep.
Then we have like a few to one ABM that the reps are going after. And then we have like 1 to 1 ABM where Abby is like going specifically after these folks. I love that.
I also want to say this is the run version.
Okay.
We are not here yet.
Oh, good to call out. That's like the full thing we're trying to achieve.
This is the ideal state.
Yep.
We're building what we're calling a signal house.
Yeah.
It is kind of the underlying technology that's going to help us actually identify the people who should be in the target account list.
Yep.
However, we do have vector and we do know our ICP very well. And so we're starting with those two things first. So we're going to start, obviously anything that's ICP fit in combination with engagement data from vector will help us build the first iteration of our ABM target account list.
So the signal house, what like we ultimately want to get to is this like really nerdy concept that Kelly, our demand gen marketer, came up with, which is instead of relying on Clay or these sort of tools that are sort of purpose built to generate signals, we have very specific signals that we are looking for. Like nothing's purpose built for us. And so we're basically building this data warehouse where we can pump all these bespoke signals in, how many ads you're running, and like you said, is your website traffic dropping?
Yep.
And so that we can basically train AI to essentially score which accounts to go after.
Yes.
But to your point, like we didn't need that, and we still haven't completely built that to this day to get started. And so I think him and Sarah, our RevOps leader, started in a much smaller place, which is like, here's all of the accounts that are showing sort of the earlier stage signals to go after.
Exactly. And so I think that'll be a nice little practice ground for us. This will be like our walk version, right? We've already won all of the crawling races.
Yeah.
So now we need to do like the toddler waddle. Now we need to do like a waddle race.
Yes.
And we're going to get there and we're going to win that too.
Big chunky legs.
All the rules.
The rolls,
oh,
little rubber band arms.
I love it. So that's kind of the next step. And the idea is that, Kelly's going to start running campaigns based on those signals and then pass that to Abby if we get a hit again. And then she's going to build an outbound program around that. So it will be a very well-oiled machine, this kind of vision that we have in this walk version. And then by the time that signal house is built and ready to go and we have, we're firing on all cylinders with the actual process itself, we'll be able to really expand what we can do in the world of ABM.
That's really cool. What is like, out of all the things that we could do in this, like, what are we calling it? Toddler waddle phase 0.5 version.
Right.
What's an example of like an actual campaign that you would run?
Okay, so we have two that we're prepping for right now, which are built around like some more traditional signals. The first one is like new demand gen hire or demand gen promotion. And then the second one is a fundraise. And so the idea here is that we are going to have not only ads that talk to that signal, also a piece of content as kind of a give or an offer for that signal. So our content marketing lead, Annalisa, who also just joined the team. Y'all, this team has grown.
It's big.
Like we're 5 people now. It's insane.
Wild.
But Annalisa was someone that I had worked with at Fastly. She was incredible. And like unbelievable long form content writer. And so she's joined the team and she's creating these great pieces of content around like at any given like series, series A, series B, series C, like what should demand gen look like?
Oh, love
what
that.
should ABM look like? Right. So you kind of have a guide for like, we just got this fundraise. Like what's expected of me now that we're at this new level in terms of demand gen and pipeline creation.
That's cool.
What does the first 90 days as a head of demand gen or head of growth look like and what's expected of me, right? So these are two really interesting guides that we can give away inside of ads. We can have Abby hand off to people who show this signal, right? So that's kind of going to be the motion is like, we're going to take these more traditional signals paired with vectors insight around what they've been doing on our website, what ads they've been clicking of ours. And then we're going to get them this piece of content somehow, right, that Annalise is creating. And then Abby's also going to be doing kind of the outreach around that, handing them that piece of content, inviting them to the events that make sense, just pulling them further into the brand.
I feel like the theme that we've had across like all of our content, including this podcast, like we just had episode 3 was about like videos for our ads. Like all like our theme, or maybe a better way to think about it is like our bet is that really valuable content that like really creates engagement is the way.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned like hiring Annalisa, like that was another bet in that direction, which is like, like AI can create content. It can push out a bunch of slop, but like we're learning to differentiate like what's valuable, what's not.
Yeah.
And I think Annalisa is like a hire that most people would not associate to a successful ABM program, but I think she will be. I think she'll be the reason that ABM works for us.
Absolutely. I think the like thread through all of that is like, we're very focused on the humans in the business.
Yes.
Like you and I are very big about building in public on LinkedIn. We put Kelly as kind of the face of like our daily user. He's out there doing all these webinars talking about how he's using Vector, right?
Yeah.
Annalisa is building up her own kind of personal brand because she also wants to be a part of this and show people like, how are we thinking about content? Abby's now going to be one of the first people that people interact with when they come into like the Vector world, right? And so I think we're making a bet on like, I think you've even said this before, like the future is very human.
Yeah.
Despite all of this AI, despite all of the automation, all of the workflows and everything that we're trying to like turn into some sort of like process that is run, you know, through Claude.
Yeah.
Like the thing that I think makes us most successful is we hire really good humans to do what we know is right and build the human experience for the people that we hope to become customers someday and like really make them feel good about it.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. I think it's like marketing is about zigging when everyone else is zagging. And like if you're scrolling through LinkedIn and you're feeling defeated because all you see is like replacing my marketing team and like AI generated this for me, like that's the zag that everyone's doing. The zig is like, well, what happens when like that is everything we see in all marketing? I have a feeling like humans is going to become like very differentiated again. It's like after COVID where all of a sudden like if you flew to a customer for like a sales meeting that was very differentiated.
Yes.
I think marketing is going to feel the same way.
I think it's why all the small events are so important now because like we actually have time to like sit and talk and get to know each other. Like, it's humans, guys.
It's humans. I saw a really sad stat that was like, I think ever since COVID, like humans are more lonelier than ever before.
Yeah.
Tap into that shit for your marketing.
I know. Vector's going to solve it.
Yeah.
Solving
World
marketing
peace.
and loneliness.
So now that we've got sort of the basics set up, like where do you see this program going for us?
Yeah, I think the next step is like really figuring out the signals, like what's our alpha signal and how can we scale that? And then really just getting a ton of good at bats under our belt and like knowing this is working and seeing the progression of like, you know, out of the 60 tier 1 and tier 2 accounts, like we closed this many this quarter and like really feeling good about that and knowing that, you know, this percentage of pipeline actually came from that and it being the majority of pipeline. Like that's going to feel really good.
Yeah.
I think something that's going to be a challenge is because we're now working so closely with sales is like keeping both sides of the street clean.
Yeah.
What happens when you have all these signals and all this data and all these named contacts?
Yeah.
Right. And I think we just have to be really conscious about there should be certain pieces of outbound that sales is going to own, and there should be certain pieces of outbound that marketing is going to own. Yeah. And never the twain shall cross.
Never the twain.
The twains should not cross.
Yeah. It's like, I think of like a stoplight. Like you just, anytime that you've got anything that's going out to customers, right? We had this, I know we're kind of wrapping here, but we should share this story. We did try a cold calling agency. Mm-hmm. And one of the experiences that we had was one of our customers reaching out and basically saying like, these guys keep calling me and they won't stop. And they say that they're associated with Vector. And it's such a great example. Like if you don't have the stop signs set up to like coordinate traffic correctly, you can actually generate a really bad experience for your customers. So I do think that'll be the next challenge for us.
Agreed.
Jess, this was great. We got the crawl. We got the walk. The run is when we run ads. Then Abby cold calls. And then I show up at their door.
Nope. Not happening. That's called stalking and harassment. But This was a really good meeting.
It was a great meeting.
This meeting could have been a podcast.
And it was.
It was. This Meeting Could Have Been a Podcast is a Vector production. Vector lets you build ad audiences from real people that visit your site, click your ads, and research your competitors. Imagine seeing exactly who will see your ads by name before you spend a dime. It's a great time to be alive, marketers. Go give it a whirl at vector.co. See you next time.